Hello, everybody. This is Chris coming to you from the Two Strangers One podcast studio. I just wanted to say I apologize that this episode was a little late. Not my fault. Everything's on my computer, and I ordered a new plug from my MacBook off of eBay, and it came 2 days late. I sell stuff on eBay, and I make it my priority to get my stuff out on time. So just to let you know, if you ever order anything off of my eBay page, you're going to get it really soon, not like the extra couple days I had to wait. So once again, thank you guys for listening. I'm sorry this episode is a little late, but I hope you enjoy. Tomorrow's the 14th. It's my birthday, and maybe we'll have a little something extra for you then. Thank you very much for listening, and here we go.
Look alive, wage slaves, presenting that caliph of clowns, that mogul of mountebanks, the one and only Joker!
Hello, citizens of Gotham! Joker here. You're listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes, or if you're an Android user, you can always find the Stitcher app for Google. Oh, and by the way, I happen to strap a bomb to both Kristyn and Kristyn. And I'm afraid that one of them is not going to make it through the show. Stay tuned and find out for yourself.
Well, hello, and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kristyn. Hello, welcome back.
Welcome back. This is take two.
Take two.
We started recording. My daughter was in the room, and
she wasn't happy, you know?
She was being quiet, but I think hearing Daddy talk, she wanted to get on the mic herself, so she started going
such a diva, you know?
And
you can't take it with these girls.
So we were kind of talking about Superbabies.
Well, you were saying how girls mature.
Girls mature faster than boys.
So it's better to learn that now.
And so she's not 2 years yet. She'll be 2 years in 2 months.
So basically she's like 6.
Yeah.
In a couple months she's going to be having a job, right?
Yeah, she's not even 2 yet, and she's hitting her terrible twos.
Yeah.
You know, she's throwing fits. She's throwing herself on the ground.
I love that. Throwing yourself on the ground.
Yeah.
Tantrum.
Yeah, she's throwing a tantrum. And then, like you saw, she now knows the word mine.
We're supposed to be spelling it, though. We don't want her to
I don't say it in front of her. And I don't know where she learned it from. I don't know if I don't think she learned it from her brother. That's the only other place because she didn't learn it from her grandfather.
Maybe she's watching like late night TV, something. She's just going through the channels and she heard it.
But she's grabbing stuff. Like, she doesn't even talk that much. But and the funny thing is, all the words that she knows are no, stop,
mine.
and mine. You know, so all the words she knows are like
she's already got an attitude.
Little diva words. Yeah,
she's got a diva. And then we were saying, what's it? What is it? Blue Ivy Carter.
Blue Ivy Carter, which is the
super baby.
Because, you know,
breaking into the music industry at not even one.
There's a trend in Hollywood right now. Jay-Z and Beyonce, Will Smith and Jada Pinket Smith, Brad and Angelina.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's
that group.
There's a new generation of super babies where
it's like they're born into the industry.
Yeah, almost. I mean, it's one thing, obviously. There are people out there who are the sons and daughters of celebrities, but when you're the son and daughter of, like, big celebrities...
Like two of them, both parents.
Because, you know, Jay-Z and Beyonce had their whole career way before they even met each other.
Right.
You know, Will Smith and Jada Pinket Smith.
Same thing, you
know, Brad and Angelina. And, you know, we're, Jada Pinket Smith, I've always been...
Basically, you're in love with her.
I've always had.
She's like your Halle Berry.
Yeah, she's.
Right?
Well, because she went to an art school
in Baltimore.
Oh, it was in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Okay, and
School of the Arts, where she was chilling with Tupac,
and she was friends with Tupac in high school.
I didn't know Tupac went there.
That's the funny thing is that.
The funny thing is,
we're gonna play. If you're playing
Shot-ski.
the Two Strangers One Podcast drinking game, every time I say the funny thing is, take a shot.
You'll get wasted by the end.
The funny thing is that she went to
an
art school with Tupac,
Who would have
But
thought
Tupac always
went to this art
represented, Tupac always kind of repped the West Coast.
Yeah, now he's in the East Coast
But he
going
was
to the
in-
art school.
Yeah, he was in Baltimore. Now, when...
I would have thought he had like a hard knock life, like...
Yeah, well, Baltimore's not a...
I know.
Baltimore's a, you know...
But I could see him like not going to school and like chilling on the corner.
Yeah, he's
that
going to
sort
art
of thing.
school.
Now he's going to art school with Jada Pinket.
Are you familiar at all with the show Fame?
Oh,
The
yeah.
original- So, Tupac is going to the Fame school.
Yeah, right.
And here's Mr. Thug Life.
He's taking like dance classes.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like, dude, you're going to school with people that are like, you know, interior decorators and
Right.
designers and dancers and poets and
now you're
singers,
rapping about killing
and you're
and-
talking about what a hard thug life you had. Now, when Tupac not
That was her close friend.
the funny thing
Says
is
that here.
the very first public song. And this is kind of acknowledged. The first song he was on with a band called Digital Underground, which their big hit was the Humpty Hump.
I was gonna say, kind of like real, like
Yeah, it was
the
after.
name kind of sounds familiar, but
Yeah, it was after
that
the
weird
Humpty
looking
Hump.
guy was the lead singer.
Yeah,
with
well,
the nose.
it's what it is there's a guy in a band. His name is, and his rap name was Shock G, but then his other persona was Humpty Hump,
Yeah.
which was like he wore the
the
Groucho
goose,
Marx
yeah.
nose and the
He
glasses.
was goofy looking.
So the funny thing is,
Shot.
take a shot. They did a song. They did a song called "Same Song," and I love that. That like it's on my computer right now.
It's your
It's like,
ringtone.
all around the world. Same
Oh,
song.
everybody knows that.
I love that song, and that's the first song that Tupac was on. But then, he did a couple of tracks with Digital Underground when like officially as a rapper. Then, like his first big breakout was the movie Juice.
Right.
Now, Juice took place on the East Coast. Juice took place in uptown New York, or I don't know if it was the Bronx or uptown Manhattan. Which I'm stronger urge to believe it's uptown Manhattan because there was like Dominicans in the movie, and growing up in Manhattan, I know that that's more of a Dominican area. And now the funny thing is, in the past, I've mentioned Essex
Juice.
Theater, the theater in my neighborhood,
Yeah.
and I remember the night we went to go see Juice. It was me and my brother and a couple friends of ours, and like fights broke out in the movie because we saw
Really?
Juice opening night.
Oh.
And it was an event because, you know, it was a ghetto movie in the ghetto. And
With Omar, it looks like. Omar Epps.
Omar Epps was in it. Tupac was in it.
Jermaine Huggy Hopkins.
Yeah, he was in. I mean, I know he was. He was in a couple other movies. I can't think of any right now.
And Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh yeah, Samuel L. Jackson was the arcade owner, and that was, you know, once again, wow, that's. I don't think that was the first movie Samuel L. Jackson was in, but it was definitely one of the
Earlier.
first movies he was in.
So it's basically them just as like 4 Harlem teens.
Yeah, 4 guys,
And they're like skipping school and then...
Yeah, one kid, the Omar Epps character, is on his way to being this really good DJ, and then
Typical
Tupac.
Omar.
And what happens is that they're like a crew, and they're tired of like the kids messing with them, like especially this one Dominican crew, and so Tupac gets his hands on a handgun, and so now like, oh, now we're gonna be hardcore, and like to prove how hardcore they are, they knock off a bodega the same night that the other character is supposed to be in the DJ competition.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like they have an alibi. Oh,
Yeah,
no, we didn't rob.
We were at the DJ.
And
the
then-
DJ convention.
And Tupac gets kind of like drunk with power, and he actually kills the guy in the bodega when they never intended to. They just wanted to knock it off for money. And great movie. But that's the whole thing, is that when Tupac first came out, first and foremost, he went to school in Baltimore.
Right.
Then he did a movie.
An art school in Baltimore.
An art school in Baltimore.
Then he did an East Coast video.
He did a movie that was East Coast. I mean, you can't get more East Coast than like Uptown Manhattan. And then I remember one of his first really, really big crossover hits that everyone seems to know is Brenda's Got a Baby. Okay, well,
California is really like big.
That's the first one you know about. Yeah, well,
like the big song that they still play.
Well, being from the hood, he did a movie called Brenda's Got a Baby, which was...
it's a movie.
No. He did. I'm saying music.
Oh,
music. His first,
wise.
in my opinion, it was probably his first big crossover hit.
Oh, okay.
It's called Brenda's Got a Baby, and it's about a girl who has a kid with a guy who doesn't want anything involved with her and stuff like that. And in the video, first and foremost, it's filmed on the East Coast. And
when did he go to the West Coast?
That's the whole thing. Is I don't understand. I mean, well, see, now the guys from Digital Underground are from Oakland. That I know. So I think he started hanging out with them, and then he started, quote unquote, repping the West Coast.
Was their leader?
Yeah. So the funny thing is, one of the main characters in this whole East Coast West Coast beef was from the fucking East Coast. Tupac was from the East Coast,
chilling over here the whole time.
And
what a lie.
Yeah.
He just denied his whole past.
And that's the whole thing. Like, even in his video, Brenda's Got a Baby, his style of dress was East Coast, because this is the early 90s where the guys wore the puffy, those triple fat goose jackets.
Those big-ass jackets.
And I'm pretty sure he was wearing like a UCLA... was it not a UCLA...
Columbia or something?
Well, I mean... He was wearing and maybe they were doing this on the West Coast, but when I think of the West Coast in the 90s, I think more of like gangsta rap and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure the hat he was wearing was like a college football, college basketball hat, which growing up in Manhattan, that was the style in Manhattan, where you wore the big fat, triple fat goose jacket, and then you wore... And the funny thing is, like, I wore college hat teams. I've never watched a college match in my life.
I think that's how it is.
I have no idea about NCAA.
March Madness?
March Madness. That shit is way over my head. But I used to wear, like, a Florida Gators hat.
Gotta represent.
Well, is it the...
Number one fan.
Yeah, that's... So...
Florida Gators, I think, is football.
No, Florida Gators is a real... whatever the college team for Florida was... I wore because it was more about the color.
Right.
You had an orange jacket, you had to wear an orange hat, And so, and trust me, I wore my triple fat trench coat, and, so...
represent.
So the funny thing is, in the big, quote-unquote, rivalry between West Coast and East Coast...
He's fighting himself.
He was from the East Coast. I mean, I don't know 100% what his story is.
Did anybody ever call him out on that? Like...
Nobody.
Hey, you're
I'm the only one. You're
the only one calling
speaking
him out.
the truth here. I mean,
maybe it's just like he.
Everything I just said, you can look up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You could YouTube Brenda's Got a Baby.
Well, like they never. I feel like in one of their rap things, like they could. Biggie could say like slam them by saying you're from the East Coast.
Yeah,
that never happened.
People conveniently forget about the past when it comes to no one really does their research. And I mean, of course. This was probably before the internet got real big, but these are all facts.
Right.
You can look up that he went to school with Jada Pinket Smith. You can look up the fact
that they were very close friends.
Yeah,
at their Baltimore art school.
At Baltimore art, it's just fame. Tupac was in fame.
Yeah, which is basically fame is based on their lives.
And I guess this goes back to what we were talking about like a bunch of podcasts ago. All these hardcore motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah.
They're not hardcore. You know what I'm saying?
You look at their past, they're like Jada Pinket Smith, she's not hardcore. We never did say that.
Yeah, but at least she was never really representing being hardcore.
She's got, parents. One was a nurse. She doesn't have, that hard knock life. I don't know about Will Smith, though. Does he?
Well,
he's from Philly.
Will Smith is from... Oh, my God. I saw the craziest thing on the internet. It was 15 outrageous theories... about TV shows and movies.
Okay.
And so, one theory was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was all a dream. Or not a dream.
It was all a dream.
Will Smith, this is the theory.
Okay.
Will Smith actually died in the fight that he got into in
the
Philly.
Beginning.
And the special cab driver with the rare cab was God delivering him to heaven. And since he's from the projects in the ghetto, his heaven is his rich family in Bel Air.
I mean, that's really
so the whole show is supposed to be him in heaven because he lived a good life. He was killed. He was an innocent victim in a fight in Philly, and his version of heaven is
this big mansion,
Baltimore mansion. All right, we'll be right back, and we're back.
That's really looking into it. That's cool, though.
It said outrageous theories.
Right, yeah.
And they're not saying in any way, shape, or form it's real, but if that was the case...
you really looked into it, not you in general, the person who thought of that, really took the time to come up with that.
And so I guess, back to Will Smith and Jada, you know,
your girlfriend.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, the first movie that I ever saw her in was a movie called Demon Knight, from the people who did Tales from the Crypt. Where in the movie she's fighting demons, which is I like any movie with like that has like a badass.
I love that badass woman in a tank outfit.
Oh, you know, Demon Knight, Tomb Raider, Resident Evil, all those types of movies. I love
Wonder Woman.
But they never really made a good Wonder Woman.
I thought they were going to make a new one. I might have just made that up.
They did the pilot for NBC. And I remember reading about the specifics where she plays Diana Prince. You know, Wonder Woman is, you know, her when she's trying to fit into the real world. Diana Prince, she's Wonder Woman. And then in this show, she also played her own secretary.
What the hell?
Like, it would be like, okay, Bruce Wayne and Batman, but since Bruce Wayne is so rich and famous, he's so rich that he had to play his own secretary. and I'm using the Bruce Wayne just so people understand what I'm talking about. Where, because, you know, usually you can't talk to someone very rich or very famous. You have to go through their secretary.
Oh, of course.
So,
you bastards.
So she would play her own secretary, redirecting people, saying, "Oh, Miss Prince can't talk to you right now." Whatever,
I see.
And then go and be Wonder Woman.
And then go and save the world.
Yeah, and the outfit. Now, the girl they chose, she was attractive, but she had like. I hope those weren't her natural breasts because it looked like a bad boob job. They were like 3 feet apart from each other, like like her cleavage. It wasn't even cleavage; it was a long. You could put a textbook in between her tits, and and then I believe it was
right. Yeah, no way are those real.
And it was from the same. I forgot the guy who wrote the show. I don't know if he does Law and Order. If it was Dick Wolf who wrote it. I forgot who it was who actually wrote the show, but the person who wrote the show is more famous for writing law dramas.
Okay,
like a Law and Order.
Yeah.
It might be Dick Wolf. I could be wrong. And
Dick. No, sorry.
Freudian slip.
Right? It was like Tourette's almost. I don't know if this is for the movie or the show, but it says David E. Kelly.
David E. Kelly, that's the writer. Yeah, David E. Kelly.
I thought they were going to do a movie. Maybe it was just the show that I saw pictures.
Yeah. Well, if DC has any intelligence in them right now, they would get started to work on a Justice League movie, seeing how well the Avengers did.
Right.
Now, oh boy, I could go off on a whole...
Here we go. Don't get him started.
Well, first and foremost, I've been on DC overload for the past couple days.
What's DC?
Marvel and DC, the comic book companies.
See, I'm bad with the comics. You gotta explain things to me.
Oh, yeah. So, Wonder Woman is under DC.
Okay.
And... once again, our shows are kind of delayed, so...
for like a week.
Yeah, so... in our world, in my timeline...
on May 31st.
Yeah, on May 31st. 2 days ago, the game Batman Arkham City released a new, what they call downloadable content.
Okay.
So it's a whole new mission. Costs $10, $9.99. And it's, it's an add-on to the game.
Okay.
And the cool thing is, this is particularly the stuff that happens after the game. It's a whole new bunch of missions. And like the beginning of our show with Harley Quinn, it's all about Harley Quinn getting revenge on Batman for stopping the Joker. And I do have to say, if you have an Xbox or a PlayStation 3, if you're not playing Batman Arkham City...
We don't know what you're doing then.
You're missing out on a lot. It's a great, great fun game. And you don't even have to be a big comic book geek like myself. It's just
in general?
It's such a well-made... Now, the funny thing is... take a shot. The game pretty much incorporates even minor characters from, the Batman universe. So, the funny thing is... Take a shot. Even a person like myself who's big into comics... There were characters in this game I had no idea about.
That's cool, though.
And so, it got me familiar with the characters. So, like, trust me, by the time you finish playing this game, you'll be like at least an expert in Batman,
knowing who's who,
and Batman
on every
mythology.
character, Batman trivia.
And you know,
now they're always getting revenge on like, ooh, you stopped the Joker. Are they ever like they need like a real fight, like you slept with my wife sort of thing? Like I need to get revenge. Like that never. It's always like you stopped me from killing everybody in the city.
Well, it's you know,
like these aren't real problems. I want like a real scenario.
Well, I mean, come on, the Joker's blowing up buildings and you know, in that universe, the Joker is a flat-out killer. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, stopping him is a good thing.
I'll give you that.
You know,
he's a little
like
maniac.
killing him's like killing a Bin Laden character. You know, and so I heard this great interview with this guy named Paul Dini, who's like a really big. He's a well-known writer for Batman.
Okay. And
he actually wrote the video game. And he said that his idea is that, okay, the big major characters like the Riddler and Joker and stuff like that, those are the real murderers. And those are the people, okay, need to be put in jail. But all these small-time other criminals in the game...
Blue-collar crooks.
You know, that the funny thing is that Gotham City almost wants them to keep going because there's Batman there and all these what he calls performance art criminals. It actually brings tourism into Gotham City.
Okay,
it's almost like a rite of passage. Like, oh, I was I did this. The Joker pointed a gun at me or something like that. So, you know, in his world, those criminals are the reality stars. Yeah. Those criminals are the rock stars.
Who you want to get pictures with.
Yeah, people visit because...
They're the Justin Bieber of
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
City.
It's like when you go, like, you know, going down to Manhattan and going to, Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a spectacular thing, so...
Just to witness and be a part of.
Yeah, in his world,
right.
You know, I mean, obviously, no one wants to get killed by the Joker, but
to get a gun pointed at you by the Joker.
Yeah, like, you know, oh boy, I was in that building,
awesome.
Or I was across the street from when the Joker blew up the building.
Gotham City is so corrupt?
Well, then another thing is that, you know, there's always, you know, some of the bad guys were actually created by Batman, and then Batman. So it's a whole, you know,
you just can't win. And do you think there'll ever be peace in Gotham City?
I mean,
do you believe?
I don't know. And see, and all this, you know, I look. I know I'm a big nerd.
You know? No, I'm kidding.
This comic books are our modern day mythology,
right?
You know what I'm saying? When you know when the Greeks and Homer were writing about Odysseus and Perseus and
these whole fake things, this fake world.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And talking about the Cyclops and Medusa and the Sirens. And that was all mythology. So Batman and Superman and Iron Man, that's our modern day mythology. You know, when people in Egypt were carving, you know, their gods on a wall, you know.
That was their comic book.
Exactly. They're, you know, Ra, the sun god is our Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? It's yes, it's a mythology, and of course, I mean, back then those people considered it actual gods, but of course they didn't have the internet. You know what I'm saying? But we need these spectacular stories. We need stuff to kind of like take us out of ourselves. And I mean, I know I'm probably going to step on some toes here. You know, like even like the Bible, you need
something to believe.
You need these big spectacular stories that are telling a tale while, you know. And I don't want to like I'm not stepping on anyone's religion. I'm not saying, you know,
we're going to lose some viewers today.
Well, I mean,
listeners, sorry.
I don't think anybody would honestly believe that it rained for 40 days or 40 nights and God killed everyone on the planet.
100% I believe that. I'm kidding. All right, sorry, we're sorry.
Well, that's, you know, it's like, you know, there's a moral to the story.
There's always a moral.
You know,
gives people something to believe in or something like a pastime, a hobby. Sort of thing, you know, that whole thing.
It's spectacular stories that their whole idea is to get a point across.
Right, and there's always an underlying thing.
You know.
Not to mention the great, like, for comic books, like, the cool artistry.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the graphics and everything are amazing.
And
the Egyptians didn't have that shit back then.
Yeah, but the Egyptians did carve pictures on a wall. Right. They told their stories through pictures.
Through pictures, yeah.
And that's the way we're doing it now. And, you know, the comic books have such a fandom. You know, what makes that any less legitimate than a person who writes a 1,000-word novel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, so...
So here we go.
You know, what's an average page worth of words, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think... Can you... And see, I should know this. I'm a quote-unquote writer. I have no idea. I think, you know, average page has 250 to 500 words, so...
At least, I would say.
So, so one picture... Just one little frame
has
is equal to like 2
telling
pages.
So many stories.
You take a 32-page comic, subtract the ads and stuff like that. You can get a lot of stuff told through pictures. So, and especially nowadays, and I know you shouldn't equate the money being made, but I'm saying is, yes, there are people out there who anticipate the new books coming out, but there's a whole lot more people out there anticipating when the next comic book is coming out. You know what I'm saying? And it's...
I told you, it's like an underground cult that I had no idea existed.
It's a modern day...
You open my eyes to a whole new world.
And it's, and the good thing is now it's crossing over. Now it's, look at the Avengers. And, this is something I kind of wanted to bring up also was, I know I talk a lot about... Like, it fell off a truck.
Dun, dun, dun.
Like, the microphone, it didn't fall off a truck. I bought it from a pawn shop.
Pawn shop. It was legit business.
Where the pawn shop got it.
That might have
fallen off a truck. And
I
think I make no bones about it that, there's movies, I stream movies online and stuff like that. And, I think I balance it out. Okay, so I saw the Avengers online. I streamed it. I'm also sitting here talking about it.
Right.
I'm a walking,
he's making up
talking commercial for movies. I'm wearing right now I'm wearing a shirt that has Batman, Superman, The Flash, and Green Lantern on it.
Such a nerd.
I wear this outside where people can fucking see me. I'm constantly wearing comic book, I'm a walking fucking billboard.
They should pay you to promote their stuff. Basically.
So that's the whole thing is, for the $9 that I saved, or the $11 or whatever it is now,
it's like $15
that I saved from streaming the movie online and actually seeing the movie, I'm also, for how much have I spoken about the Avengers?
I'm in love with it.
And I'm trying to get this show out to more people. I'm basically giving them a fucking free commercial.
Yeah.
So
who wrote the movie? Do we know who directed it?
Well, no. Who wrote the Avengers is Joss Whedon, the same guy who did Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, right. Who directed it?
Joss Whedon.
Okay, so he needs to contact us.
Oh, yeah, Joss
and
Whedon.
give us a big thank you.
If you want to send the check, you could reach us at www.doublejackpot.us.
Thank you, Joss.
I think my email address is on there, so get in contact with me.
Right into the bank account. We'll take direct deposit.
Yeah.
Thank you. And you're welcome.
But like I said, okay, I make no bones about streaming movies online, but
you make up for it another way.
But as I'm saying, like the Avengers, okay, fine, it's not good that movies are being streamed online, but you know what? That movie still broke every fucking it broke a billion records.
People are getting stuff off the truck or whatever, streaming it, but they still
made lots of money, and I know
that's amazing in their own right that they did that. That's awesome.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And see, if you make good movies,
right,
people are going to go.
Stop making crap movies and we won't have this problem.
Stop greenlighting these piece of shit, boring, of course, maybe I shouldn't say that because there's an audience for everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But obviously, there's money in big explosions, big guns, huge, big muscles, big tits.
And even big tits, big...
big muscles, big guns, big tits, big
fire.
Explosions. That's where the money's at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So for all you people making love stories, nobody wants to see that. Well, no, that's not true. Nicholas Sparks, we love you.
How much money did The Notebook really make?
Oh, come on! It's a great story.
Actually, I've never seen it.
During that time of the month, it is the best story to watch. Nicholas Sparks is the best movies when it's that girl's special week.
Well, the funny thing is, once again, I never saw The Notebook. My ex-wife, I got out of work, and my phone rings, and she called me crying. I just wanted to tell you I love you and all that.
I've never seen it. Oh, no, I've seen it. I bought it before. I Bought it on Canal Street, if anybody knows about Canal Street.
Canal Street,
in New York
Manhattan,
City.
yeah.
I bought it like years ago when it first, sort of came out, and I've seen it on TV now. I still cry.
Wow.
I know what's going to happen.
I've never seen it.
And I know what's going to happen, and I'm like, it's still just sad. Like, like snot running out. It's like an ugly scene that I got going on there. And it's still, it is sad. Nicholas Sparks does that. Well, he wrote the book.
Oh, okay.
And he's like known for his sappy stories. And he also did
something else he wrote just came out.
Yeah, I don't know how that is though. With Zac Efron.
Is that the lucky one?
Yeah.
Oh,
something about where I don't know the full story.
I think
he's in the army and this picture
I think he's in the army and he finds a picture of this girl.
While
he's looking at the picture, the rest of his buddies get killed in the explosion, and then he makes it like his mission to go find this girl.
I don't watch love stories, but I know everything about it.
I watch commercials. I love...
I don't know how that was, though, but Dear John was on TV. That's another one that came up a couple of years ago. When he always says the hottest
And the funny thing is, I always see that Dear John, I always see on...
FX.
That's
where I recorded it the other day. It's always on FX. I'm like, really?
Okay, because I thought it was on the Encore channels. Because for whatever reason, on my cable, I get the Encore channels for free, or I don't pay for them.
Somebody's stealing. You're gonna get arrested by the end of this podcast.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is like I don't pay for HBO or Showtime or Cinemax or anything like that, but I do get the Encore channels. So I thought it was on the Encore channels, but it's on FX.
I've just seen it recently, the past couple months, always on FX. I'm like, this is such a sappy story to be on FX, and I never saw it, so I recorded it and I watched it, and I was again. He knows how to make you cry.
Oh boy!
And it's always there's always a twist, something crazy, but he knows how to get the hottest guy, a pretty girl, and then you just want to cry at the end. It's just like, why can't it just... I wanted it to work out this way, and it's not happening. Or you're like really happy for it. It's just always... He knows how to... I don't know what he looks like or anything, but...
He's probably a troll.
I know, I was going to say, he's probably like, I wish this happened to me. Like, I wish I was that guy and that girl. Yeah, no, he really knows how to make you feel emotions.
See, now, if we could cross over the Avengers and the Notebook.
See? That's awesome.
If we could get Nicholas Sparks to write a comic book movie, holy shit.
He also did. Yeah, write a comic book movie.
Or Joss Whedon to direct the Notebook.
See, they just need to, hook up. They could be like a 4-hour movie. Half of it's going to be love, and then the rest is going to be, explosions. We just got it all in there. Yeah, no,
they tried to do that in Titanic, but then again, hey, look.
Everybody knew I was going to end.
But I'm saying, look, the Titanic made a nice chunk of change, and
even just doing when they re-released it this year, it made money. How?
Yeah, how does
it
make money on a movie that's
just because you have 3D,
15 years old, 20 years old?
I know, Leo looked like a baby in it. If you see it now, you're like, wow.
Well, that was his not his first movie, but his first breakout leading man material. Now now he's in fucking everything, but
everything he touches is gold.
Yeah, before he was on Growing Pains and What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Thank you, Gilbert. Thank you.
Where he played the special ed kid.
That's horrible. I should have been. That's not right. I
All right, take it back.
To anybody that offends.
We're really offending everyone.
Well, you know what it is? I hate stupid people, and unfortunately, I know there's a big thing. And the funny, I'm the last person to try to sit here and be politically correct. But I do kind of agree, when people say stuff is retarded.
Right.
That's kind of not the right word.
Taking it out of context.
You know what I'm saying? There are fucking people. See, it's one thing, I'm going to probably, let me get on my soapbox here for a moment. For a person that is developmentally disabled, it's not their fault. You know what I'm saying? And the funny thing is, I'll take a shot. I said the funny thing. Yeah. I know people that are developmentally disabled, and let me tell you, some of them are brighter. When you're quote unquote normal, and I'm not saying I definitely don't want to paint the picture that if you're developmentally disabled, you're not normal.
Technically, there is no normal.
Yeah, but if you aren't given any limitations. Yeah. And you're a fucking idiot, then you're worse. At least people that are developmentally disabled are they're taking a shot at it. If you have no problems and you choose to be a fucking moron, then I swear to God,
you deserve to be called a moron.
Yeah, let me tell you, there should be we should be allowed to put a bullet in some of these people.
Preach it.
Yeah, if you're not, if you choose to be ignorant, then you don't deserve to fucking breathe.
I can't stand just I guess you could say uneducated people that are acting ignorant. And they, think they know everything, and they're just probably have their own podcast and just blasting it out there, and it's like, oh, like I just hate you for being stupid.
But then again, I mean,
people are entitled to their own opinion.
We'd have no audience for America's Got Talent.
Yeah, right?
Or American Idol.
Right.
So I guess they do serve some sort of purpose.
Yeah. Entertaining us, I guess, in some way.
No, entertaining them. For every celebrity or person with talent, you got to have like a million idiots following them. You know what I'm saying? So, if it wasn't for these people, we'd have no Dancing with the Stars.
Right, yeah. And how could we deal without that?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's... I mean, I'm probably offending people who like those shows, but I just, I watch those shows and I feel like...
And I can't believe, Dancing with the Stars, what is it, in, season 12? I don't even know.
And they're not stars!
Urkel was on it.
Yeah, I mean, but at least I know who the fuck Urkel is.
Yeah.
When you have to tell me...
what they do. I watched, the season finale because I was in Outer Banks when I deserted you that week. And somebody was like, oh my god, I gotta see who the winner is, it's the finale. So, we ended up just watching it. Uh-huh. I had no idea who won. I was like, how is that person famous? Yeah. Is he the star of the dancer?
Yeah, that's at least
bad.
Urkel, you say Urkel.
You know
I know who Urkel is.
Yeah.
I know who, I'm trying to think who else was on that show. Jerry Springer or...
Kim Kardashian was on it, season 1 when she wasn't even famous. Yeah. That's how it was. They just, whoever says yes. Mm-hmm. Nancy Grace was on it, right?
Was Lawrence Taylor ever on it, or am I confusing the football player? I mean,
they always got some random football player.
They always have a football player or the boxer or something like that. But at least for,
these aren't stars. Stars are not willing to do this.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I mean, at least if you say, if you said Lawrence Taylor, I mean, I know who Lawrence Taylor is. If you said, well, maybe not Kim Kardashian, but when they have soap actresses or reality stars, you're not a star. I don't know who decided to make you famous, but you're not. And then they have. I know the big...
And it's not like season, I don't know.
And they have, someone who's, a radio DJ. And mind you, they're only, a radio DJ, in California. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I guess if you had, obviously big names like a Howard Stern. Yeah, or I know another big one is Bob and Tom or something like that.
That most people would know. I mean, they get, nobody's that. And it's where did you find that
Anybody
person?
Who will...
Who pitched that idea to you and you greenlighted it? What happened in the room there?
Didn't they have, Chili from TLC, or maybe I'm confused.
Now I'm going to look it up. Who's been on this? The guy from 98 Degrees. The only reason I know this, he wasn't even one of the...
Not even Nick Lachey?
No, not even. It was his brother, and he won the first season.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I know him.
And the only reason I know Nick Lachey is because he did that show with Jessica Simpson, the Newlyweds.
Right.
And I shouldn't even know that, but then again, that was back when...
And you know what the new thing is I just read, is that she's confirmed for... Jessica Simpson, she's confirmed to do Weight Watchers now.
Oh, God.
That's the new thing. It's let's get the huge, and then... Go get this big deal.
What was that other, the chick from Cheers?
Kirstie Alley.
Kirstie Alley, and...
Now that they had, Mariah Carey just did, it's either Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig, one of the other. But that's the new thing, let's get huge from having a baby. And now I'm gonna go make so much money on getting slim.
Yeah.
As you can pay for personal trainers and stuff, it's not all the Weight Watchers.
Yeah, and they do it in
a month.
Has, well, I mean, being a guy and stuff that's towards me is Charles Barkley. I mean, not that I watch basketball, but I believe Charles Barkley's like Weight Watchers is trying to
bring guys into. They had George Costanza. What's his name? Jason Alexander. He was on. See, it's either one or the other, Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers. But he was, and I was like, really? Out of all the people, that's who you got?
Yeah. Oh, let me tell you, the other day I was watching, and it was funny, I was watching FX the other day, and I forgot.
So you're watching Dear John?
It wasn't Dear John. Shit, what the hell was I watching? It was some movie. And the whole thing, it was a movie that was kind of geared towards me, and so now I know I'm getting old, because see, you could tell a lot about a show by the commercials.
Oh, yeah.
So I was watching this movie, and there was a commercial for Levitra.
Okay.
There was a commercial for and it was late night, so there was a commercial for like testosterone pills, like right.
Like, then they usually squeeze in there like the sex hotlines you can call, and it's like this 18-year-old beautiful girl like, I'm waiting by the phone. Yeah, okay.
But I mean, like, Levitra's, for guys to get a hard on, testosterone, like, okay. I'm less than a month away from turning 35.
He's old.
5 years I'll be 40. And, I mean, I don't feel like I'm an old guy. I mean, I know I got gray hair. I know I'm balding. But I don't feel like an old man. But, like, when you watch these commercials, like the Levitra commercials, like, you've reached that part of your life where you know what you're doing. You just need the right equipment. And it's like an old guy. It's like, you get this guy who's kind of rugged looking, who was probably really handsome in his 20s, but now he's in his 40s. And he has a bit of a paunch, and he's working on his classic car. And it's so, like, midlife crisis. Like, obviously, the only reason this guy has this 1960 Chevy, is because, his kids are probably out of the house, and his wife is, look, just get yourself a 20-year-old girlfriend, all right?
I know, you'll feel better about yourself.
Or maybe they're trying to tell you, hey, look, if you're gonna bang that 20-year-old girlfriend, here's something that'll get you a fucking hard on.
But it's like if you watch The Price is Right in the day, you got all those diabetes commercials, AARP, it's all like that old.
And during the day, all the ads are.
Retirement.
Everest, get yourself a job, because you're obviously if you're sitting at home during the day watching TV, you don't have a fucking job. So here comes to this trade school.
Everest, and then they got
Cash Now.
Always like Cash Now.
All the people because basically, I guess if you have a cash settlement. You have a cash settlement because you're not working because you probably sued your employer or something. you tripped and fell, and now
you're just home now. So.
Yeah, so you're sitting at home, you're living up your settlement. So one cash, what is it? 1-877 cash now.
Oh my god, those commercials are brutal.
And they give them every fucking break. I hate watching certain channels at certain times because like. When you see the commercial every fucking break. And see, that was another one. Like, I was watching another show, and obviously the show that I was watching was geared towards, like, house moms, like, mothers and housewives and shit. And, the commercials were like, when you send your kids to school, make sure they have their, very fine juice box or whatever, And I'm like holy shit, this isn't geared towards me, I definitely don't want to, we shouldn't sit here and put labels on everything and say, this, obviously if it is. But it's just like, watching the commercials took me out of myself. Like, holy shit, I shouldn't even be watching the show. I mean, I guess, I am kind of a single dad, so I am raising a kid and I should be worried about what juice box she brings to school. but, in my mind, I'm still the kid, what I'm saying? Like, don't advertise juice boxes to me. Advertise video games,
Yeah, that's just put video games out. Do you know who Donald Driver is?
Donald Driver.
Well, that was the winner this year of Dancing with the Stars, so you know.
The star should be in fucking parentheses.
I'm looking at it. The other person might be... Actually, now that I see it, like, all the stars are on the left side, but I was like... It says Donald Driver and PETA, some crazy name, and I was like, which one's the star?
Oh, shit.
But now I see that, like, the left is the star, so...
So PETA is the star?
No, Donald Driver.
Donald Driver. What is his claim to fame?
No idea.
Like I
feel like he was like a boxer. I feel like I heard that, but let's see. I can find out.
I mean, I know a couple years ago.
Football wide receiver. Maybe he's that.
Oh, okay. But then again, see, I don't watch football. And see, that's another thing. Like, you watch football commercials.
Get the quarterback or something. Somebody people know.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, that's like to me, an athlete is not an athlete. Like, I know the only reason I know athletes is from the commercials they do. I know Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah. I know Michael Jordan. I know, I can't even think about their celebrities right now. Derek Jeter really doesn't. Well, Derek Jeter's done commercials. He's done, like, shit commercials and shit. But, since I'm in a different world than athletes, I don't know an athlete until they cross over into,
and there's so many that I read recently, for whatever reason, that are getting... I feel like it's mostly football players that I've read that are getting, like, DUIs, but I have no idea who they are.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay.
And you see them, like, on TMZ, and like, what the fuck is...
I'm like, okay.
This
well,
person's
good luck.
famous for what?
I know. Well, good luck.
That's they might as well just say anybody. Joe Smith got a DUI
oh my God,
yesterday.
he did?
Did he? Really?
And what does he do?
What does Joe Smith do?
Yeah, right? Like, and who is he?
He's the pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks, or what?
Oh, really?
Like,
only like a really true fan of that team would know who that is.
Yeah.
Or like somebody who like knows sports so well.
And it's like, and then when you do watch sporting, now I don't, but my roommate does. My roommate is he's into basketball and football.
Well, hockey's really big right now. The Stanley Cup's going on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Devils.
New Jersey. That's
the Jersey Devils. The funny thing is, I have like a Jersey Devils hoodie that I sport.
I think they lost last night though in overtime. Sorry.
They might. Well, I mean,
they go into overtime.
And apparently, like, there's a big rival between like the Jersey Devils and the Philadelphia Flyers.
Okay.
And one day I'm wearing my Jersey Devils hoodie, and actually I'm in Manhattan, and I'm with my buddy Andy, who actually is a big hockey fan. And this guy literally gets like 2 inches from my face. Let's go Flyers! And for a split second, I didn't realize why he got in my face, and it's Flyers, and I'm like, oh yeah, I look down, I'm wearing a New Jersey Devils hoodie.
Who is this man up in my face?
Yeah, I mean, at the time I'm repping Jersey, only because I live in Jersey, and I'm repping the devil, I guess.
I like the color, I like the symbol, I don't know.
For all intents and purposes, I'm an atheist, agnostic, or whatever, so,
I guess it just meant...
anything that pisses off the straights,
Flyers,
the suits and stuff like that, I'll wear, like, the Jersey Devils. Like, this guy got in my face, and I'm like, and then when you really, what I'm saying?
I know, it's like,
dude, really,
all right, man.
You're gonna get, and you're
not even an avid fan.
Yeah, well, they say, like, I lived in Philadelphia, and Philadelphia's fans are notorious assholes.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
It's just, like,
that in Pittsburgh, too.
And
Pennsylvania in general.
They're so fucking bored out there. They got nothing else but to live for their fucking sports teams. Because, like I said, I lived in Philadelphia. The only two things
they got football and
is beer and strip clubs, like bars and strip clubs.
And that's all you do there.
That's all. And no, excuse me, hoagie places and strip clubs. So you can get a great sandwich. And when I lived out there in '99, strip club every fucking 3 blocks.
Good for them.
And I don't want to shit on people of Philly, but their fans are notorious. Now, don't get me wrong, they're guys that are proud of their teams, but like I actually went to go see, because my boys that were living in Philadelphia, we all moved down, but then I moved back. We went to see the Mets versus the Phillies.
Oh, Phillies.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking Pittsburgh, Phillies. Yeah.
Yeah. Now apparently that's a big rivalry.
Okay.
Also, now we were just dressed in casual clothes.
Okay.
But I've heard stories of people who wore like Mets jerseys, like getting into physical confrontation.
It's too extreme.
And like the funny thing is that like if security sees you wearing like a Mets jersey or something like that, like no, they will like keep an extra eye on you to keep, because they don't want the fans to come kick your ass.
That's ridiculous.
And it's like,
you can't even have fun at a game.
Yeah,
and you gotta watch your back and watch what you wear.
Are you that fucking pathetic? Now, I mean, don't be wrong. I understand having pride in your team.
Right,
don't
but
be
now
wrong.
that we have to have an altercation.
When you're getting into a stranger's face, like that guy doesn't know me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
for all you know, like you could have.
What if I have a fucking gun?
I was gonna say, what if you had a weapon on you? Like,
yeah.
And now
I wanted to make it personal.
And his defense was, he was wearing a Devils jersey.
Let's go Phillies.
Let's
go Flyers.
A friend of mine, her dad is the most harmless man you'll ever meet in your life. He's just so nice. I've never even heard him raise his voice. And you could get away with anything at that house. Mm-hmm. But he's so nice. He's a diehard Buffalo Bills fan, which is out of all the teams come up.
Well, like my roommate too, yeah. He's a big Buffalo Bills fan.
Him and like a few of the other dads, like they went to a Buffalo Bills game, but it was in Pittsburgh, so they're playing the Steelers. Mm-hmm. He, of course, did a whole face paint of Buffalo Bills. Before getting in there, somebody threw a beer on him.
Oh, shit.
Like, right in his face. I mean, this is like an older man, like a dad. Like, really? God. I was like, poor guy. He couldn't hurt you if he wanted to.
And then the asshole will go, well, you should have thought about that before he came.
Like, you just threw a beer in this man's face.
Yeah, a total stranger.
Like,
ugh. It's disgusting.
It's so rude. Like, get a life. I mean, I get it. You love your team, but, okay, he likes his team, so let him... He's not going to fight you over it.
And see, like, in this situation, like, the person you're mentioning, I'm pretty sure he wasn't being an asshole.
Absolutely not. He was literally just like walking in, and I could never see him.
Yeah,
pushing people around.
If you saw somebody that was, someone you're supposed to be against, and they're being an asshole.
Right, that's a whole other situation. But if you're harmless and just
if you're
going to the game and having
on a random
fun,
stranger, that's
dick. I mean, it's like, all right. I don't know how old the person was.
Yeah, and then the real big tough guy, you're throwing beer on an old guy.
Right, exactly.
A real big tough.
Well, I hear in hockey, I mean, the hockey dads are always the worst. The hockey men, I hear like Rangers and Islanders are like the games to go to. A girl I went to college with, her dad had season tickets for the Islanders, I believe, and she used to go to the games, but she was never allowed to go to Rangers and Islander games because dad was like, people were always being thrown out, and it's like. The players aren't even getting thrown out. Like the fans are just.
I went to a Rangers game in Madison Square Garden, and it was the first hockey game ever.
Fun, though. I'm sorry.
And there were fights breaking out in the stands.
So ridiculous.
The funny thing is, I'm over here watching the game now. It's just my opinion. Hockey is boring as fuck.
The only good part is when they get really.
But that's the whole thing. All of a sudden, you see everyone standing up in their chairs, looking off to the side. Right. Like in my opinion, there was more action in the stands than there was on the fucking ice. And of course, I mean, like my friend Andy, like I said, he's a diehard. I mean, you could ask him, who won the '86 Stanley Cup? He'll know. Trust me. And not only will he know, he'll name the lineup for you.
Right, of course.
Now, and I went. The only reason I went is because Andy had tickets. And
you never see hockey players on Dancing with the Stars. So sorry, Andy. Maybe someday.
Well, that's
probably during their season.
Well, hockey players are supposed to be like manly men. Yeah. Like, I mean, football players are supposed to be manly men too, but
they take dance lessons.
I don't. I just, if that's the highlight of your game. The highlight of the game isn't the game; it's guys fighting during the game. Like I'm to the hockey player. Yeah. Then it's not a sport. You know what I'm saying?
You might as well just go into boxing.
And it's the same thing like soccer or as they say in Europe, football.
Football. I played soccer like all through high school and some of college. I like playing it, but. They're like diehard, like they're like they love watching it, whatever. And Europe, it's huge there.
Soccer
riots. It is so boring to watch, and I actually I'm like I can only play it.
You
like
played
watching it, I'm like this is terrible. Like I feel bad for my parents who had to watch me growing up.
Yeah, it's that American mentality.
Yeah.
Like, well, then again, I mean, hey, our American pastime is baseball, and that's boring as fuck.
Oh my god, that is terrible. Terrible to watch.
But when you can't, if I'm going to sit there for 2 hours or however long, and. The score's 2-2.
Right.
Just fucking put a bullet in me.
I know. And I also hate, for the flip side of that, basketball I hate. Because it's just, you run back and forth, and the score can get up to 100. Yeah, it's like, if it's that easy to get a goal, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
But also, it's also stupid if I'm watching it for 2 hours.
Basketball cheapens it.
Yeah. If I'm watching it for 2 hours and there's only like 1-0.
Yeah. And
I'm just not happy, okay? You can't please me with the sports.
Yeah, I'm not a sports person, but I don't know if it's just me. Once again, here, let me get out my soapbox and stand on it. Like when I watch
He's always got an opinion.
Let's be real here. Minorities only make up 15% of the population. I mean, I believe it's growing. And of course, I would say our view of the world because we live in Rochester. Rochester's pretty diverse, so at least in the city. I forget how really white America is. I call myself a white boy until I leave a major city. Then I realize how not white I am. So much of this country is still white,
right?
white, and then you watch sports, and it's all black guys. You watch baseball; it's all Dominicans and stuff like that.
Well, hockey is really the only one.
Well, hockey is.
But they're also mostly Canadian.
It's a Canadian. Trust me, you give it a little while. Hockey. You need I know there's black hockey players now, but you need once you get the Tiger Woods of hockey. Once you get that crossover guy. And like I said, I think Blair's a black guy in the Rangers right now, and I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, Andy, I'm sorry, forgive me.
Well, there's a few out there.
There's going to be that one guy who, maybe it has to be like a handsome guy. He crosses over, he does a shit commercial. Right. He gets the, he'll get the girls into watching it. Oh my god, that guy.
Everybody has his jersey.
When he's doing commercials and stuff like that, there's still space for that breakout star.
Yeah.
But I forget how white America is. and you watch the sports, and it's so disproportionate where there's
so
mostly minorities on the team. And I'm not, I'm not making a political thing like here, but it reminds me of like slavery.
Almost like you're just watching for entertainment. Yeah, like
it's
gladiators.
Like gladiators. Yeah, it's like
I'm watching this for entertainment, like watching you guys get to like box and get the shit kicked out of you. Like
you watch these basketball players and
letting your body go through like that much. Well, I guess they're healthy, but also like football, like you get tackled.
Yeah, those guys, there's
for our entertainment.
There's those guys. I mean, some guys are lucky enough to get out and actually become commentators and stuff like that.
Right,
and, but like, and only recently in football are they actually constituting like a pension almost. Like,
really?
All the old football players. They're fucked up. They're broke.
They're all like car
Their bodies are fucked up. Yeah, exactly. They
all go into like stuff like that. Like
they have to go into like they have to go into something
the real world, but they don't know what to do.
Yeah, after because they've destroyed their bodies and stuff like. And some of these guys got hit in the head so many times that they're not all there. And
that's smart to do. Well, for them to get a pension out of it.
But
I mean, because that is their job. Like the only difference that it's not slavery is that they have a choice.
I mean, they get paid.
But it's like that. I know you're saying.
What I'm saying is that when you see, maybe it's just me. When you see when you see a bunch of minorities, and I'm not trying to be racist. You see a bunch of minorities entertaining a stadium full of white people. Like maybe I'm totally stereotyping the rest of the United States. But, like I said,
I forget the offensive episode.
I forget how white the rest of the country is.
Right, absolutely.
And, some of these people...
Once you're taken out of, like, city areas and you go, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go in, like, different places, you realize you're like, whoa.
Yeah, being
like, you probably...
Being born and raised in New York, I mean, minority as shit. You couldn't leave my block without running across 9 different languages.
So diverse there. But then once you get into, like, suburbs...
Like I said, when I was a correction officer, I had to go to the academy in Albany.
Okay.
Now, the academy in Albany obviously takes people from all over New York State.
Yeah.
And when I met guys that said, I didn't see a black person until I turned, 21 and left my town.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they're from, small town,
Yeah, where the guy, literally, my town has...
500 people.
Yeah, there's a guy literally told me, he goes, my town's about 800, 900 people.
They know everyone's
I said, shit,
like a small school.
My graduating class was 1,200 people,
I'm trying to think, mine was 300, but I was from Greece, so we had 4 different high schools.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you combine all of those and have one, it's like that, yeah.
How is it, just the seniors alone? I'm not talking about the whole school.
Just the seniors alone overpopulate.
We're more than this town, and,
when I see... It's sad to see that.
When I see a bunch of minorities, like I said, these people...
Tell me, Chris,
probably don't even know black people.
Right.
But they'll go and watch them on TV.
Yeah.
They're entertaining.
And of course, that's skewed... different, movies and stuff like that you watch on TV. It's all, mostly stereotypical. So then they have that, image of this is how they're going to be once they first meet them, sort of thing. It's all skewed.
Well, it's you'll sit and cheer on... if you watch... And the one I talk about... The one I feel the worst about is, basketball, because when you watch basketball... Those are some real hood motherfuckers. Oh, I'm sorry.
They're guys... more hard knock than Tupac.
Yeah, and those are real...
Tupac was in Baltimore.
You see guys with, fucking prison tattoos from their neck down. And, these are guys,
this was, their way out,
These white guys go running to watch them in the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
But
celebrities all lined up for the Lakers there.
Yeah,
it's just
but if that guy walked into their house, or they were dating their sister or their daughter, forget about it. They break out the fucking noose. It's like, we gotta drag this motherfucker behind a truck.
Look how tall he is.
And I'm not. Once again, I would like to think this country is a lot more enlightened than that, and and I'm probably sounding ignorant right now by even talking about it, but.
Once you get outside your comfort zone and you realize, I don't know, once you go to different places, you realize how people just don't get it sometimes. And you're like, where did you grow up? Because I'm pretty sure I'm from America and so are you, and you're not, it's just different.
Even in New York State, for Christ's sake, people when like I said, for someone to say, besides on TV, I didn't see a minority in person.
Right.
Until I turned 18 or 19 and actually was old enough and
Did
had
they
my own
touch
car.
them? Did they shake their hand? Like, they act like it's so foreign, you know?
Yeah,
and to them it is.
And you still see, like, back to those, do you remember those videos that were going out big time a couple months ago, like, shit girls say, and, you know, and...
They did shit black girls say, which was funny.
Well, yeah, this one, there was one where, shit white girls say to black girls.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, and it blew, now, my ex-wife was black, you know what I'm saying, I've dated black girls, you know...
did you ever say the things that...
Well, but it's funny, like, how people, white people... react to black people. Because, like, I mean, the big one that I guess is popular, which blows my mind, is white people always want to touch black people's hair.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's like a sheep, you know?
And it's vice versa as well. I've had a few... Well, I mean, just because it's different, but, like, who wants somebody touching their hair? Like... I don't know. I wouldn't want somebody all up in my business like that. Like, all right, this is hair. Get over it.
I don't, you know...
It's like a sheep. That's awful.
Well, no, that's what people have said, you know, and, you know, like my ex-wife. She used to say, you know, now, my ex-wife, she's black, but if you spoke to her on the phone... I mean,
you wouldn't know?
Yeah, you would never know she's black.
There's
you know, she was an Oreo. And I mean, I love, you know... Yeah, I've dated black... I've never really dated a sister. I've always dated Oreos. Every black girl that I've been with has always been
a swirl.
Yeah, and quite frankly, it's the same thing like me. I mean, I look like a white boy on the outside. I look like a white boy on the outside, but I mean, you know, for all intents and purposes, I'm Puerto Rican, but I act white. You know what I'm saying? Until I leave a city, then I realize how not white I am. I ain't white. When they're like, "Where are you from?" You ain't from around here.
Oh yeah, they always know who's from around here and who's not. It's like,
because their towns are so fucking small, they know everybody.
We're all sleeping with each other.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like, I love how like these guys root for football teams and basketball teams, you know, but they wouldn't have that player step foot in their house.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Or if that guy wasn't an athlete.
Exactly. If they weren't an athlete, they would be not allowed in the house.
If you saw that guy in your neighborhood,
yeah, exactly. It's
what you doing around here, boy? Yeah. You know, when the sun is down, we better not see your black ass around. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know...
they got their...
I mean, I'm making light of it, but
it's very true.
Addressing a real issue of racism in this country. Goddamn it.
This is just... Let's just name this the offensive episode. If you're easily offended, do not listen.
Well,
but it's very true. It is.
Knock it out to this point.
Just how, like, basically, it goes back to like how I was saying, I hate ignorant people.
Yeah.
Like, and if people have their own opinion,
I mean,
right?
Understand, like, if there's out there someone who's offended, if I'm sounding ignorant, understand it's because I'm ignorant.
Right.
I don't.
There's generally like people who just hate people just to hate them.
Yeah.
Like for whatever, and it's like. Just want to be like, get over yourself, man, alright? Yeah. Like, now you're spending way too much time hating these people, and it's just, I don't like it. And
I'm of the firm belief
just sound stupid in
that if you spend enough time with somebody, you'll find a good reason to hate them. You don't have to...
Are you trying to tell me something?
Well, no, what I'm saying is that... what I'm just saying is... There's so many better reasons to hate somebody,
right?
Than the
color or like
you know,
gender or whatever.
Their kids, or they cheat on their taxes,
right?
Or you know,
and that's a real reason to hate them. Because they were born that way.
There's perfectly good reasons to hate.
So
people.
hang out with them for a little bit.
Hang out with somebody, get to really know them, and get to really hate them.
And once you have a good reason to hate them, I'll accept it. But if you're just gonna hate just because of their color,
if you're gonna hate, then
that's just ignorance.
Yeah, just get your hate right.
Yeah, get your hate right. That's what we should name this podcast. Get your hate right.
Get your hate right.
We're gonna have like bumper stickers and stuff. Sell T-shirts.
I'm
not against hating people. There's people I do not like, but make sure it's a good reason. And that's that. That's my preach on hate.
And we are past the 1 hour mark.
Glad we ended it on that note.
Learn why to hate.
Plug it, Chris. Plug it.
As I say every episode, well, first and foremost, thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you.
We hope you enjoyed listening to the show. As much fun as we had doing the show. You people need to understand that this show has pretty much become my job, my life.
Stays up all night.
I was literally up to 8 o'clock this morning looking for a sound effect just for the beginning of this episode.
Chris does all the intros. He puts them together.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm selling stuff on eBay. I'm trying to promote the show. I'm promoting, recording. I'm selling stuff on eBay. It's this just doing the show has become like a full-time job for me. And
do we have a pension lined up for us? Let's call the NFL.
Tell your friends we need a pension, or we'll be like the old football players.
We're gonna be selling. I'll be working at the car dealerships.
I meet Chris from Chris and Kristyn fame. We're gonna stand in the lot.
We can do like Weight Watchers too. They do those.
Oh yeah, no, that'd be great. Oh, let me
do our own Weight Watchers.
If the Weight Watchers people want to contact us,
please.
www.doublejackpot.us.
We'll do it.
Oh, look, I am so ready, willing, and able to sell out. The Fleshlight people, Stamps.com, anybody want to contact us? I am so ready, willing, and able to sell out because I just want to
lose weight in it, fine. I'll take it. That's a bonus. Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig.
Look, you want to send me I'll fucking advertise anything. You know what I'm saying? I will advertise. You want to advertise? I hate ChrisCologne.com. I will fucking advertise it. Okay, well.
We got a little off topic there.
Once again, www.doublejackpot.us is your central for everything. There are links to first and foremost how the show is supported, our eBay page. I've been actually really busy this week, and actually I have like 3 things I have to send out. There are comic books, there are video games, there's heavy metal memorabilia, and actually it's been going real good. And I don't know if it's because of the show. Or it's because my prices are that.
It's just because of the show.
My prices are just that good. Goddammit, that people are. I mean, I'm literally sending out stuff every day, so that's really good.
Awesome.
And if you like
a Twitter account as well.
There's a Twitter account. Now, if you like this show, and like I said, I'm not asking money for nothing. Go online, buy a comic book, buy a video game, buy some heavy metal stuff. Take the comic book, give it to a friend of yours if you're not into comics. What did I say? Okay, we got our Twitter account. If you want to follow us and updates about the show, updates about when the new episodes are out, we are at Comic Metal Games with an S. Comic Metal Games. You can find a link to my spec script, or the nice way of saying fan fiction. I wrote an episode of Big Bang Theory. There's the link. If you came across this show through a friend or something like that, there's a link there to our page on iTunes. But once again, we're available on iTunes. You can subscribe to us now.
And Stitcher.
Yeah, just search for Two Strangers One Podcast. And if you're an Android user or Kindle user, and you can download the Stitcher app, or I believe it's the Kindle Fire. Excuse me. You can download the Stitcher app. And listen to our show. So we're available on Stitcher for Kindle users and Android users. We're on iTunes. There's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be listening to this show, other than the fact that you just don't like us and don't find us funny.
Jerks. Then we hate you. Just kidding, we love you.
So thank you for listening to
Thank you.
Two Strangers One Podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kristyn.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, here we go, man. Go ahead. You want to read
Double Jackpot.
What is it?
It is a self-published book by Christopher Cologne.
Chris Cologne? Smells good to me.
But
Look at her. That broke that fucking cold little exterior. He's like, hee.
But it is spelled C-O-L-O-N.
Him punny.
But Double Jackpot is a book about a comic book artist, Eric, who is in a loveless relationship with a materialistic
I feel you, Eric.
Lynette.
Oh, fucking. Are you sure I didn't write this? Sounds hauntingly familiar.
He starts cheating on his girlfriend with a more creatively supportive woman, Nadia.
Well, I gotta meet her. Where's the Nadia?
There's your summer girlfriend.
Summer Nadia is Nadia.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think Nadia spelled with an A.
All right.
Both Lynette and Nadia play the double jackpot, the largest payout in lotto history, much like the recent Powerball. Both girls play his birth date as the winning numbers. Eric is now stuck between two of the country's richest women. Who will he choose? It's not that simple. This is a clever fucking idea,
Yeah, it
man.
is.
Look at her. Fucking, she's impressed.
I am.
She got some summer reading. Christopher Cologne smells real lovely with an original idea. This is. I've never heard this before.
I haven't either. This is a self-published book, much in the indie spirit as Kev's Clerks.
Oh, you don't even need to name check me. This is just a good idea. You could stand on your own, man. You don't even have to be like, hey, remember Clerks? This is nothing like that. This is way more original than Clerks. This is a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of this?
I need something to read. This book is part of the Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games Trilogy Book 2. Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, coming soon.
Right on, man. It's part of a trilogy. This is the first part.
Way to write, man.
He's seeking a literary agent. Motherfuckers, anybody out there? There ain't no literary agents listening to this show. I assure you, sure. Sure. I assure you, sure. But somebody know a literary agent? Hook a motherfucker up! Chris Cologne come up with an original idea. I should tell Raskin. That's a good fucking idea, to be honest with you. That's a fucking rom-com right there. Megan, get Raskin on the phone. Isn't it possible to get Raskin on the phone? No?
Yeah.
I want to run it past him, man. I want to, and if it happens, I get a taste, Chris Cologne. I get a whiff, if you will.
The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com.
That's lulu.com.
I understand that. I just want to spell it out.
Normally one says it that spells it. Still, lulu.com. What is that? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. All right. The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com. Search for Double Jackpot Christopher Cologne. A paperback version of the book is $15 and a PDF file is only $5.
$5 is
Yeah.
insanely inexpensive. 15's not even that bad for a paperback version.
No.
This is $1 million idea right here. Like a movie about a dude who fucking is stuck between two chicks, both of who play his birthday and win the lottery. Come on! I can see that trailer. Chris Cologne is on to something. Nobody else can smell it but me.
I'll read it.
Thank you. I'm going to make that smelly joke.
I know. You're trying to get me to laugh again.
It worked once. Double Jackpot is a self-published book by Chris Cologne, man. It's the first book in his Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games trilogy. Book 2, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, should be coming out soon. Get all the information at Chris Cologne, like a motherfucker.
I will
his
totally
book,
read this.
Double Jackpot. I'm serious. I'm going to recommend that to fucking Raskin. How is that not a movie? You know what I'm saying? This could be a sexy movie. You could do an R-rated version. There could be nudie in it, and you could show them fucking both chicks. Maybe a little penetration. Maybe a butthole shot. No butthole, no care.
I would like to formally apologize to Christopher Cologne.
No, sex sells. Chris Cologne will appreciate that. He's like, thanks for throwing a few buttholes in there, man.
Don't forget to check out twostrangersonepodcast.net, your one-stop resource for everything show-related. You can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher. You could also find links to buy my book, Double Jackpot, on twostrangersonepodcast.net.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.